Hello and welcome back to the Auburn University RFID Lab. This is our update for March of 2019. A couple things on the agenda, a lot of things on the agenda. We had a board meeting 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to go through a lot of things that we discussed in the meeting. First and foremost, most importantly, is graduating students. We still have 6 students that are graduating in May, or at the end of this summer. They're looking for positions. Let us know if you're looking for someone. We got a variety of different disciplines. We got some folks from data analytics. We got some folks from supply chain. We got all across the board. It's interesting. Normally we have about 20 to 25 students in the lab. For some reason, almost the entire lab is graduating in May. It's just the way everything lined up. We're only keeping like 5 or 6 students after this term. So still some available. Let us know, please. We've got resumes for you. We can send a resume kit, and then they're very easy to get on the phone and talk to and everything as well. So please hire a student. And then upcoming events. So Journal Live in April 2nd through the 5th. Definitely want to come see us there. We have 3 presentation sessions. One, Dr. Hargrave is going to present, I believe, on his adoption survey. I will be presenting along with the Zipper team on the current phase of the Zipper project. And then also the blockchain team is going to have a panel discussion with those folks as well. Finally, in addition to the 3 formal presentations, we have a blockchain demo. We're taking, I believe, 8 students from the lab. We'll have a space on the show floor at Journal Live, and they'll be doing a demonstration of the blockchain demo from the lab. So it'll be everything from picking items from the store to picking them into the DC to receiving them back to the store. We'll trace the supply chain through with the traditional model of barcodes and ASNs, and then we'll trace the whole thing through again using RFID and blockchain. So if you want to see it live, it's a quick, 20 to 30 minute tutorial of RFID blockchain and supply chain. That will be happening multiple times. I believe Tuesday night, all day Wednesday, and then Thursday morning. There's 6 or 8 different sessions where you can come in and see those demos, so please come see us there. And then finally, GS1 Connect. So June 19th to the 21st, GS1 Connect is in Denver, Colorado this year. I think it's at the Gaylord there. We will be presenting there as well for the blockchain project, and I'm not sure if Hargrave is presenting anything there as well, but at least we will be, and we'll be there, so come see us there. And we'll have some students on the road with us for that one too. A couple things we discussed at the board meeting. Let's start with aviation. Aviation, we had a few different changes. The way that we have the board structure for aviation right now is we were looking at 3 to 4 times per year meeting at the lab, kind of like as we have been with the retail board meeting. One of the things we found with the aviation partners very quickly is it's a lot of airlines, it's a lot of airframe manufacturers, very international group. Our retail group tends to be more U.S. focused with their U.S. retailers and brands. Aviation, there are some U.S. components to that, but a lot of that's international. So what we're doing is, I think we're moving to an executive committee model. This will make it a little bit more portable for getting that aviation group to meet together. They do a lot of international events. Here's the other thing about aviation is they do conferences and events with IATA and other groups almost monthly. So we're trying a new model this year that I think will make it much easier for those groups to kind of meet in addition to some other events that are on the road. We'll still have some meetings and events and things here at Auburn, especially with the build out for the new aviation space here at the lab. But we want to make sure that all the folks that want to come to these meetings are available and can come, because it's a little bit harder, especially for some of the Asian air carriers to get back to the U.S. On a regular basis for meetings here at Auburn. So that's good. And then we had updates on RFID and baggage. If you've looked at anything with RFID in the last few years, I'm sure you have seen that already. RFID with flyable parts, we had some updates on that area from some of the airframe folks, and then finally RFID in manufacturing. So this has been a big one. It's important to understand that a lot of times when we talk about RFID in the retail world, we're specifically referring to UHF passive. It's a bigger world than that with RFID, especially in aviation. So there's a lot of things with active, BLE, all kinds of stuff that is not normally what you would consider just a passive tag that you would stick on like a pair of blue jeans or something. So it's a much broader world of auto ID and RFID on the aviation side, and they talked a lot about that on that manufacturing update. Quality program, so this affects both aviation and retail. for many years now, the ARC program, actually we're going into our 11th year of the ARC program, now that I say that out loud. We've focused heavily on performance for all that time. We've talked a lot about quality and quality manufacturing, especially now that we're looking at some high volume projects. It's very important that we can monitor and maintain the manufacturing quality of the tags and inlays. Some of the inlay manufacturers have already started going through a process of quality manufacturing certification. This is a enterprise level certification. It's essentially saying that we have done an audit of your quality management systems and your factories, and we can say without a doubt that you're following good quality practices for your tags and inlays that you're manufacturing. We have a few tag manufacturers going through that program now, and we'll have some more by the end of the year. It's very different because it focuses on the manufacturer and not so much directly on the inlay, but it's also very important. We need a better handle on being able to show to these end users who's putting out good quality product from a manufacturing perspective. And then also for the folks who are new entrants to the market, they may need a little bit of help making sure that they're hitting the right standards of quality manufacturing that will be able to best serve their customers. Dr. Hargrave's adoption survey, we do this every year. He looks at the U.S. Retailers, typically the top U.S. retailers that are focusing on apparel, and he does a survey of who is moving into the RFID space, who's moving up the chain from feasibility testing to pilot to full deployment, and what that kind of looks like on the top 100 apparel retailers. Very good. Right now, this is based on publicly available data, and it's also based on a lot of data from retailers who come to us at the lab to ask for questions. We have found that we're over 70 of the top 100 apparel retailers in the U.S. are somewhere on that curve of RFID investigation or adoption. Very promising, and those tend to be clustered up towards the higher end of that top 100. So adoption, proliferation continues. We're expecting to see that growth continue to accelerate and expand as it has been in the past few years. That's great news. And that data for the adoption survey is available, so contact us and we'll be happy to share with you some of that data now. We talked a lot about the Zipper Phase 2 and the blockchain project. So Zipper Phase 2 is ongoing. Just a short recap, Zipper Phase 1 was focused on the business case and the business value of serialized data from brand to retailer in the supply chain. We were really focusing on claims and chargebacks and inbound and outbound accuracy. Zipper Phase 2 is continuing right now, and we're continuing to build that business case and that business value. So it's proving out the dollars to cents of why do we need serialized data and how does it fit in. All right. The sister project to Zipper Phase 2 is the chain integration project or the blockchain project. What we're doing with that blockchain project is we're taking a set of brands and retailers, and we're creating a blockchain Hyperledger Fabric framework. And then we are actually running some feasibility testing to understand if we can take that serialized data and plug it into that blockchain framework and get some meaningful data out of the project. Is it possible to use blockchain as a medium for transferring serialized item data through the supply chain? So it's more of a testing a vehicle for data exchange. It's going really well. We got a press release coming up in about 2 or 3 weeks. It has to do with us joining the Hyperledger Foundation, but it also lists a lot of the project partners and things as well. We had a meeting last week. Before the board meeting, we were expecting about 20 to 25 of the core group participants to show up. I think we had almost 50. It's crazy. This thing has grown so fast. So more to come on that, but a lot of good progress there. Finally, last but not least, we have a couple of short things that we've done. Cattle track and trace, that's a subject area that's really becoming important, especially at the state level. The USDA has discontinued some funding for some of their older ear tagging programs for cattle tracking, and now we're moving into electronic cattle tracking with RFID and things. If you're interested in that, let me know. I can talk to you more about that. And then finally, the credentialing program. A lot of folks are interested in what the students know and what they learn here at the lab. And then also we need a program to help us train up new students to be good assets to the lab. So we put together a list or a checklist of core concepts that students need to know to be valuable in different areas in the lab. This is called the Student Credentialing Program. We have been expanding that over the past few years. We're about to start some trials on that now. If you're interested, let us know, and we can kind of show you what it is that we're trying to make sure that those students are learning while they're here, and then also kind of advertise that fact to folks who are going to want to hire them once they graduate. So with that, thank you very much. I know that was kind of a long update, but we will see you here again in April, probably right after Journal Live. So thank you much.